Doing a little more work to a Duramax here. This was all stuff that we kind of knew was going to need to happen. Big old cattle pushing bumper on there. She's got a couple 100,000, I think maybe 270 on it. Really hadn't had anything done. The suspension was pretty much original, and so I wanted to talk a little bit about that. And I know there's some viewers out here on the channel that were wanting an update. Right here, I was not quite expecting the cracks in the brake lines, but I'm sure not going this far in the suspension repair part of it and not making sure the brakes are right. The rotors and pads seem to be perfectly fine, but you can see we've got the majority of it. The axles are fine, so they'll get reinstalled. We do have some leaky shocks right there in the rear, and the fronts, the bushings were completely hammered off of them. Something I didn't expect when we tore it down is this front seal right there in that steering gearbox. We were going to put a pitman arm on it because it was leaking and I could see wetness around there. Again, when you're spending this kind of time and labor, I don't feel like it's a good service to the customer or to you if you're a do-it-yourselfer to have it this far apart and then have to go back in there for steering gear later. Now, at 270,000 or whatever's on the ticker of this thing, a lot of shops probably would just hung ball joints in it. These ball joints are clapped out. They are done. But the problem with that is, and I don't know that it'll come through in the video, but the bushings on those control arms are just dried up and cracked. And now, can you put bushings and whatnot in there? Sure. But for the time and money, we get a full new control arm. We also found, and all the bushings are pretty much like that, back here in the lower control arm as well. We also found fine metal shavings inside this rotor. That's evidence to me of a failed bearing. So we're working the front end over on this old truck pretty good. We are waiting on a steering gear for it, but this is where we're at. Got quite a bit of time in this, but this thing's going to drive like $1 million when we're done. Got the lower control arms already in there. Got everything waiting out, pretty much waiting on that steering gear. We're going to go back together in the next few days.